All right, well, welcome to our webinar, Week 4, BODS, Being Our Divine Selves. I just want to start by talking about this week in general and where we are at 20 days into this, meaning we have 10 days left after this. 2 more weeks, but 10 days. And I want you to just take a moment here and think about your intention of what you started this program thinking. What did you plan on doing during these 30 days, these 6 weeks? What did you plan on changing? What did you plan on growing? And what did you plan on happening during this 6 weeks? What were your intentions? What were your desires? What was it you really wanted to accomplish? And just bring that into your mind, bring that into, an awareness right now. So we're in week 4. What's gone on in 20 days? For me, and right, use the chat function and just let me know, what were you expecting? I can tell you, for me, what I was expecting was to get very clear mentally on my body, on what I was doing with my body, on just the concept of what my body was at this point in my life. And what I came to is that I got to get rid of the "at this point in my life," because it's really not about my body at the age of 61. It's just about my body. The age of 61 is really just bringing a condition into it. And when we get clear on what our mind is capable of, we will literally stop bringing in so many conditions and so many things that stop us from operating at such a high level of consciousness and clarity. I put this on the blog, but this quote by Buddha that came in last night and during my ministerial class: "The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The mind is everything. What you think, you become." So these 20 days, what have you been thinking? What's come up for you so that you could actually address it, maybe change it, grow it, trade it out for something better, something stronger? I mean, these are really important questions, and certainly as we get to this, 20-day marker, it's really time for us to just take a look at ourselves and say, okay, where am I? Where did I want to be? Am I there? And it's not about judging ourselves or saying, I didn't make it. I didn't make that marker that I had set for myself. That's not it. If you didn't, then what's great about that is that you get to decide, why is that happening? Or why didn't I do what I said I wanted to do? Now, I think the biggest thing to get out of these 20 days, and this is what I am knowing for all of us, is that we're really getting the real sense of the mind-body connection. Your body is only the way it is because of the connection it has to your mind. And your body is only going to turn into what you want it to be the minute you really get it, that your mind is controlling your body. It really is that simple. And since this whole thing is about simplicity, I think it's important for us to really get clear on simplicity. So Nancy Jo said, I wanted to be more aware of appreciating my body since it houses my mind and spirit. Okay, great. And from your blogs, Nancy Jo, it really does appear that you are appreciating your body a lot more. So let's take a look at this first thing here, order, right? Order. How orderly is your ... Now those dots are for you and I to decide, where do we need order? How orderly is your world? How orderly is your life around you, meaning your house? How orderly is your house? How orderly is your bedroom? How orderly is your bathroom? How orderly is your medicine cabinet if you have one? How orderly are your cupboards? How orderly is your refrigerator? How orderly is your desk? I'm looking around my desk right now, and it's not bad. I just came out of a rehearsal, so there's some stuff I threw on it, but it really is not bad. Now, I have a little bit of a cheat because I have a housekeeper who comes in on Friday morning, so my desk looks pretty good. But how orderly is all of this stuff in your life? So I'm just going to say hi to Betsy Jens. Hi, Diana Blaisdell. And I wasn't on your call, but I heard that you were just wonderful during the practitioner call. Hi to Juana. Hi to Liza Marquez. Hi, Liza. Mary, in here twice. And Nancy Joe. So, again, how much order is showing up in your world? And just tell me, how much order shows up? What do you know about your life in terms of order? Um, it was interesting. Something happened uh, today during my rehearsal, and there was a lot of disorganization. And I immediately went into the dressing room, and all of a sudden I started folding things and ordering things, getting order into my dressing room. And I thought to myself, this is the way my mind reacts with disorganization. I must find an orderly place. I function much better when everything is orderly. How do you function? Do you function better when things are orderly in your life? Is there order to your life? Or do you constantly find yourself in chaos? Little pieces of paper everywhere, things you jot down, and there's just no order, which kind of makes the mind kind of crazy sometimes. Well, all of that, believe it or not, is impacting the way your body responds to your mind. More order is showing up now from Nancy Joe. Great. That's good. For me too, really. And here's the thing. It's only showing up because it's showing up in your mind. So this whole week has been about order. And most of that is predicated on the understanding, as Thomas Troward teaches in his philosophy of life, which the science of mind is based on, really. The whole idea from Thomas Troward is that, because this is the last question, how orderly is your mind? Thomas Troward talks about our thoughts and that they need to be in an orderly fashion so that we continue to move forward and grow into exactly what we want. So if you started this program with a mindset of, here's what I want to accomplish, this is what I'm going to create, well, then your thoughts need to continue to roll out one after the other in an orderly fashion, one building up upon the one before it. The problem is we have these things come in. I didn't lose enough weight. I thought I was going to be able to accomplish this and I didn't. Those are defeating thoughts. And not only are they defeating, but they literally whack the hell out of the whole order of your mind. And also they have this awesome quality of taking over your mind, so that the order that you were trying to work forward through, now it kind of just evaporates, and now you're just focused on this one negative, perhaps, thing. So it's really important to ask ourselves, how orderly is my mind? How much order do I have in my thoughts? So if you have anything you want to say about any of this, just use the chat and I can answer your questions. Mary says, chaos. That is why I spend so much time away. My time away from home is more simplistic and orderly. Chaos. That is why I spend, oh, your home office. Got it. Okay, so here's the deal. It doesn't take a lot. I know we think it does, but it doesn't take a lot to bring order into our lives. It starts right where you are. Sometimes, when something's a mess, like that whole office over there is a disaster, well, don't go there with your mind. Just start right where you are, like most things. Allow yourself to find order right where you are. Nancy Joe, sometimes my mind isn't orderly as I tend to think in abstracts. I do a lot of mind mapping when I write comedy so I can make warped connections. That's fine. I'm not talking about orderly in terms of, the stereotypical normal, here's the order of things. You may have the most wacko order possible if it works for you. I'm just talking about letting things in there that disturb the flow of the creative process. Betsy, my living room is extremely orderly, but my bedroom, desk, etc. is not orderly. Okay, think about that. Diana, I was so much more orderly when I hired help. Well, good for you. I'm going to hire help again. Absolutely. That's what we're here to do. We're here to use everything at our disposal. Liza, I've certainly seen a more order in my life. However, I asked for more movement, and I have been on a move for weeks now, and order has gone the wayside. Okay, so I believe that even in those moments, we can actually still find order, even when things are crazy. My life is extraordinarily crazy right now, but my house is pretty good. My office is pretty good, and I am finding order in my life. Global Truth Center. That's Connie, everyone. I actually like order. It means peace to me. However, I asked for more movement, and I have been in the... Oh, wait, that's... Oh, I asked for more movement, and I've been on the weeks, and order has gone by the wayside. Okay, so Liza, I read you, and then I moved on to Global Truth Center. Got it. Liza, I've certainly seen more order in my life. I've been cleaning out the garage, utility room, and giving away lots of my own clothes. I feel mentally light and sense a great deal of freedom and strength. Good for you. From the wonder you wrote, that was not me. Got it. Juana, my little cottage is a terrible mess, and I haven't been able to clean it up. Clean it up. There's no reason why you can't. Just take some little bit of time every day. The mess that shows up in our lives is the mess that's in our minds. That's the way it works, folks. So that's my spiel on order, as I do want to be timely today with y'all. That's my spiel on order. So let's go to struggle, okay? Let's go to struggle. What does struggle create? What do you think struggle creates? Well, I'm going to make it easy for you. Struggle creates struggle. The more we struggle, yeah, that's right, Connie, more struggle. The more we struggle, the more we have things to struggle over. So again, your mind, when it focuses, will just create whatever it's focusing on. What you focus on expands. So if you're going to get into this struggle game, especially when it comes to something like weight loss, you know, I've been so proud of so many of you that have said that you haven't noticed a big change in your weight, but you've noticed a big change in the weight of your mind. And I really am here to tell you, don't equate the scale. Don't equate the scale with the litmus test of how well you're doing. I said this to Connie last night. I said, you know, it's time for us to stop, depending on the scale. I think we need to depend on our minds. How do we feel? How does it feel? It makes my body feel tense. Of course it does, Nancy Joe. Struggle makes us feel tense. And then the tension creates this tension in our minds. It tenses our bodies, tenses our stomachs. That which needs to go where it needs to go and nourish what it needs to nourish doesn't go there. It actually turns into things like cancer and disease. So struggle has no place in our lives. And this has been a great week for me to actually not only know this, but put it into practice. To just allow myself to just keep breathing deeply and just keep moving forward and trust and know and faith. That's where all that comes from. That's when it really behooves us to fall back into the arms of grace and love and faith and knowing. So struggle. It's time for us to let go of struggle. No matter what we think we are trying to create, struggle, if it shows up, struggle is going to create nothing but struggle. Now, when it does show up, if it does show up, find out why it's there. What don't you believe? What belief is really kind of limited? Because if struggle's coming up, and I don't mean, let me look at these two words, struggle and challenge. There can be challenges in my life. I don't have a problem with challenges. I like being challenged at the gym. I like being challenged when I'm out in nature. But I'm not talking about challenges. I'm talking about struggle. When we start fighting. We've been taught that struggle is a part of life, but I know that's not true. Exactly, Liza. It's not true. And we have been taught that it's part of life, that it's just the natural thing to do. Remember, we covered this a couple weeks ago. What is your normal? If it's normal to struggle, then, oh well, you're going to keep struggling. But that is not my normal, and that is not any of your normals anymore. I know that. So, okay, that's struggle. Now let's look at our cravings. Okay, everyone, let's talk about this for a second. So we talked about cravings this week. What do you crave? Everybody, I'd love to hear from everybody. Give me one thing that you find difficult to say no to when it comes up. Some type of craving. I got to tell you, I have a box of Girl Scout cookies sitting right here that I have craved today, and I've been very good. Betsy Jen's coconut dates. Okay, coconut dates. I crave order and simplicity. Oh, Diana, that's great. Me too. Order and simplicity. Okay, Nancy Joe, black licorice. Okay, you know that's just sugar, right? Juana, cherries with dark chocolate. Mary, nuts, macadamia, and macadamia almonds. I'm lucky. I don't like macadamia. I almost bought chocolate chip cookies last night just by habit, and I noticed it had macadamias in it, and I went, oh, I don't really want those. And then I went, wait a minute, I don't want chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so there you go. You know what you crave. Lightly sautéed kale with garlic and preserved lemon. Well, you can crave that all you want, Connie. That actually works. And you know what? How do we turn our cravings for cherries with dark chocolate over to what Connie just said, sautéed kale? You know how you do it? I got to tell you. When you take all that stuff out of your diet for 30 days, when you go to put it back in, I talked about this earlier this week, your body tells you what does work and what does not work. Your body lets you know, right? As soon as you enter it back into your body will go, yeah, nah, we don't like this. We liked that you got rid of this. Keep it away from us. Us, I mean, it's not a multiplicity. But, that's the whole point. So once you clear up the body, then kale starts to be really, really delicious. I remember when I did this cleanse, this lemon water cleanse, and I think it was a 6-day lemon water cleanse. No, it couldn't be. I can't imagine it was that long. Maybe it was just 3 days. But I was on this lemon water cleanse, and I made it through probably like 3 days, and then I was allowed to like have an apple. That apple was like a steak dinner, literally. It tasted so amazing. That's how we start re-educating ourselves. Liza, I crave chocolate. I love it, but I've learned to taste it, enjoy it, but not devour it. You know what? I do too. I love milk chocolate. I don't like dark chocolate, which is too bad because dark chocolate's not as bad for you as milk chocolate. So, and yes, here's the other thing about cravings. Please don't think I'm saying that we should never have any of these things again. That Juana, you should never have a cherry with dark chocolate, or that you should never have coconut dates, or that you should never have chocolate, Liza. You know, Nancy Joe, this week I switched to oranges after the directive to give up sugar. Yeah, me too. I've been having oranges like crazy this week. So knowing what you crave is really important. And again, I think if we really were to step away from the cravings, that which we crave, if we know it's not healthy for us, find other things to crave. I loved what Diana wrote. Crave simplicity. Crave creativity. Have cravings for just living your life fully. Those are cravings too. So, okay, there are the craves. That's the cravings. So, sugar. So, the question is, how much does sugar play into your healthy lifestyle? How much does sugar play into your healthy lifestyle? How did y'all do this week? How did you do with not having sugar? I did really well. I did really, really well. I was very proud of myself. I did have a cookie after the sugar thing, and as soon as I had it, my body said, that was stupid. I wish I have those buttons that say, that was easy? I think we should have a button that says, that was stupid, just so that we could hit it and remind ourselves of how stupid that is. Juana did great. Good for you, Juana. Nancy Joe, I had more energy. I know, right? You do. Sugar just surges your energy and then drops you down. Yes, I have a button too, Juana, that says that was easy. But I want one that says that was stupid so that we could actually help ourselves understand this. Mary, abstaining off sugar for 2 years. I use stevia, however. Yeah, I do too. Diana Blaisdell, I felt better and looked better. I know, right? We do look better. My skin, my eyes, all of it. I have not had sugar or dairy in a year. Good for you, Betsy. So there you go. So there's our answer about sugar. If you're listening to this webinar after the fact and you're not one of these people on here, then just, give this some thought. What can you do to lower your sugar intake? Okay? Liza, no sugar. I wasn't ready to take that challenge. In lieu, I noted the sugar I ate. Surprised me. Okay, good. So Liza, don't take the challenge of dropping sugar completely. Maybe you just can't go, cold sugar. Maybe you just need to lower it. Keep lowering it and add alternatives. There are terrific sugar alternatives that are not chemical, right? And natural sugars that we can use instead. So honey. Yep, raw honey in oatmeal. Yes, honey is good. However, take a look at some of the facts on honey. Just take a look at some of the facts on honey because my dietitian has told me I can have honey occasionally, but be careful where you don't turn honey into that same thing that you did with sugar. So it's still about, just using it in a healthy way and actually just finding natural places to have the sugar. Okay, sugar, sugar, sugar. So week 4, order in my thoughts equals order in my life. One of you wrote that. I don't know if it's one of you that wrote that, but someone in our program wrote that quote. And I think it might have been you, Diana Blaisdell. Um, order in my thoughts equal order in my life. That's very, very true. If we can keep our minds clear, then our bodies can be clear too. Liza, oh yes, I do those, but even the natural sugars that I use aren't necessarily great when eating them too much. Exactly. Yeah, I just said that. That's exactly right. So order in my thoughts equals order in my life. Okay, now let's go to what's come up this week. So, of course, I've looked at all the blogs and seen what's come up this week. So I'm just going to read some of the things that have come up this week for y'all. I have the faith that if I show up, my life will change for the better. I really enjoyed reading that because I just need everybody to show up. I need you to show up in order for you to have the life you want to live. So it makes perfect sense. And then someone wrote, I have faith that things will change for the better, ... tomorrow. We got to be careful that we don't live in the future. Because if you live in the future, you're not living. It's only the present moment that is alive and creative and allows you to create what you want. Another person wrote, the comfort of something right now is more important than my long-term health. Okay, that's really an understanding about cravings, that we think, you know what, screw it all. I'm just going to do, this is going to make me feel good now. But you know what? When you really know who you are, that's no longer a way to live. To say, well, I'm just going to do this now and see what happens later. It doesn't really matter. What's the difference between faith and knowingness, one of you asked. The difference between faith and knowingness, I think it's a semantical thing, to be honest. Knowingness is that this is what I know. If I absolutely know something, then I absolutely have faith in something. So faith, if I know something, faith is the energy behind that which I know. That's the best way I can answer that. Somebody wrote, I had faith in the idea that I would have pain after I finished shoveling out my car. I think that was Prue. And you did. I remember you writing that you did. So it's pretty true, isn't it? I have faith that that I'm going to have pains. If I have faith about pains, oh well. I am tap dancing right now and jumping all over the place. And I got to tell you, it's pretty good. I'm not having any pains whatsoever. So, Bob Proctor, great quote. When you believe you're able to achieve a goal and you're willing to act, the laws of the universe kick in and the goal begins to move into physical form with and through you. When you believe you are able to achieve your goal. So that brings up the question of, are you willing to believe that you can achieve these goals that you've set in motion? The answer has to be yes. The excess weight of the stuff stored in an expensive storage unit. I love that. Somebody talked about on the blog this week that they had this expensive storage unit and they had all this stuff in there, all this weight. But you know what? I thought to myself when I read that blog, your body is also a storage unit. Your mind, thinking the way it thinks, uses your body as a storage unit, and we just keep building that storage up and up and up and up unless we are willing to deal with the thoughts in our mind and get those thoughts out of the way. Just as Diana Blaisdell said, order in my thoughts, order in my life. Okay, somebody this week was 10 pounds lighter. And they wrote, I'm 10 pounds lighter, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's not about losing weight. It's about treating myself with more love and more respect. And what I did say to Connie last night, I don't think I actually finished that sentence, was that we have to stop caring so much what a scale says and care more about what do I feel. Another person wrote, my mind gets hijacked, and my thoughts go where I would prefer they don't. Okay, so guess what? My mind can't get hijacked. I allow my mind to hijack itself. So get clear on that. It's not about suddenly your mind is hijacked. It's about the fact that you are actually vulnerable to it, and then you're allowing whatever that is to come in and hijack you, and it's not even coming in. You are bringing it in, because nothing can come into my mind that I don't accept and bring in. That's the truth. I love somebody wrote about cravings. They said, about cravings, the thing about cravings is that sometimes I don't notice them, and then I feed them nonetheless. So that makes sense too, but it's why I've asked everybody to really be clear on what are your cravings. Let's be honest. Let's bring them front and center and put them on the table. Okay, these are cravings I have, and I don't want them anymore. So I crave love. I love this. One of you wrote, I crave love, attention, simplicity, peace, and quiet. I love I was interested, but I crave attention. And I think Nancy Joe, it's you that wrote that. I crave attention. I'm going to say this about that. Crave your own attention, that's great. If we don't get our own attention, then who's driving this thing called me? I think that's the most important thing. Oh, and then this last one. Eating replaces articulating feelings and avoiding conflict. Eating replaces articulating feelings and avoiding conflict. That when I read that, I was like, all right, I totally get it. But you know what? That's true with any habit or any addiction, because we use the addiction, the habit, in order to, not deal with our feelings or whatever's going on in our lives. So that's the whole purpose of this program and all the programs that I put together, these 15-minute, 20-minute programs. It's really just about waking up and being willing to say, if power is knowledge, if knowledge is power, then self-knowledge is self-power, and I am the power. Okay, Global Truth Center. Connie, that was a serious takeaway for me this week. My own attention on me, right? Juana, I've been talking out loud to my mind lately saying, stop it. This is what I'm doing right now, whether you like it or not. Exactly. And if it takes us, if in order to get our attention, we have to yell at ourselves and say, stop it. And I don't mean yell meanly, but just say, stop. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to think that. Have at it. That's what I say. So, there you go. This has been quite a week. So, are there any questions y'all have for me that you would like me to answer before we zoom out of here tonight? So, if you have any questions, go ahead. I am going to unmute all of you, and then you can talk to me if there's anything you want to say. Now, because I've unmuted you, anybody have anything to say? Connie muted herself.
Thank you, Reverend James.
Who is that? Liza? Diana?
Yes.
Oh, Liza. Okay, great. Any questions, Liza?
No, but I just want to say.
Oh, well, thank you too. Really. So
thank you.
My pleasure. I love doing this, and I love being with you all. So, okay, guys, anything else that you all want to talk to me about before I zoom us out of here? I'll do a little treatment and close this out. Let's see. Juana, yes, I deal with shingles, which keeps me from exercising. Okay. I'm not really, I don't know a lot about shingles, so I'm going to say this, that does it really keep you from exercising? I mean, that's a big question. Do you think it's possible that might? I think there might be. I don't know enough about shingles to say this, and I don't want to insult you, but really check in and see if that's really why you're not exercising, or can you exercise even with shingles? It's a question. I don't know the answer. You can maybe tell me that. Anything else, you guys? So it is 5:31. I want to thank you all for being here. As you go into the weekend, I really do want you to think about simplicity, about keeping it simple, about not allowing yourself to struggle. Find more order in your life. Find more order in your mind. Don't be a slave to the scale. Be someone who is aware of what they are feeling. Feel what your clothes feel like on you. That's a great signal. Feel what your life feels like. Feel your energy. That's really the way of knowing, how am I really affecting my body through my mind? So this has been a beautiful, beautiful time. Thank you all for being here. And I will talk to you all very soon on Monday or on Sunday for those of you that will be in church with us. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone. Just know this: you are the power of the universe. And this universe is ready for you to literally step it up. So as we all step it up, I know that we all have an amazing weekend. So namaste and have a great time. Talk to you later. Bye.